To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So I'm sitting on my new floor to our future tiny house. As you know, I just got this flooring put in just a few days ago. So next month, hopefully we'll get some windows and some 2x4s and we'll start building walls and doors, put doors up. And the month after that, we'll try to start building trusses. Now, that's gonna be an interesting challenge. I've never built a truss. I have a drawing on how to do it. I'm gonna try to follow the dimensions of that drawing. So it'll be interesting. Lots to learn, but I'm really glad to get this floor done because now I've gotten an opportunity to sit down and imagine sitting out on the back porch. Now, our back porch is going to be right here. This is the house right here where the tarp is. Back porch is going to be here. And then this is my view when I sit out on the back porch. So we'll come out here and Carolyn's thinking about cooking out here actually, even in the wintertime. There'll be a lot of opportunity to come out and visit this beautiful area. It's nice and shaded, which is going to be great in the summertime. Not so much in the wintertime. Anybody that lives in Missouri will know that Missouri has huge fluctuations in temperature. I mean, it gets really cold in the winter and really hot in the summer. We can have Wisconsin winters and Florida summers. Today it's not even that hot. It's like 80 degrees with 90% humidity and you just drip sweat all day. So we won't get much opportunity for solar heating in the wintertime, but plenty of opportunity to stay cool in the summer, which is actually a big benefit to us being off-grid. You know, we'll have plenty of wood that we can heat the house with, so heating is not the biggest issue. Heating is actually, to me, seems easier than cooling. So we're gonna be cooling with an air conditioner off solar panels. So having this shade will help us keep cool. And so as you know, I've recently got a 14-inch chainsaw that I just bought from Home Depot. It's a Ryobi. It's the cheap one. I think it was like $114 or something. And the reason I got such a small one is we're just going to go around cutting deadfall. I'm not going to cut down big trees. You know, I have this dream of cutting these 3 trees down here. They're just too big for me. I'm not experienced enough to really say that I should be cutting things down like that. I need to learn a lot more about how trees fall and cutting wedges and all of it. So I'm going to stick with deadfall or even smaller trees similar to this. I have cut down a couple trees that size, something I'm comfortable with, not very difficult to cut. However, inevitably when you're on YouTube, you will get folks who comment that want you to be safe. I've gotten a lot of comments about the chainsaw and how I'm unsafe and how I need to do this and how I need to do that. So I want to talk about safety and risk versus reward. Growing up, I've been around chainsaws my entire life. A pair of eyeglasses and they go out and cut wood. Now I know you need earplugs, so I do wear earplugs. But eyeglasses and earplugs is just about the limit that I think, okay, you know, this is just the way I grew up. Still yet today, I will see people going out in their yard, cutting limbs out of trees and different things, and they don't have all kinds of safety equipment. I didn't know they even had things such as leg coverings to cover your legs, so if the chainsaw hits it, it won't cut your leg off. I had no idea that those things even were a thing until I started researching how to cut trees down on YouTube. Now, as far as safety is concerned, every time I do something, I get tons of comments about how I'm being unsafe doing it. For example, when I was tearing this trailer down, every day people were telling me I have to have safety glasses and a hard helmet and gloves and leather gloves and $10,000 gloves and face mask because of the dirt and pollen. And so now that I have a chainsaw, Same thing. You got to have a hard helmet with a face shield, and you got to have these leggings. And so just to get started on a job, you're going to end up spending hundreds of dollars just in safety equipment, OSHA approved safety equipment. Well, first of all, I'm not in part of an organization. OSHA is a agency that regulates companies so employees don't get hurt. That's the whole idea. I'm just an individual. And the thing is that is part of the freedom, that I can come out here and I can do what I want. And if I cut my leg off, hey, you know what? At least I was doing something I enjoyed. You know, you hear that all the time. But in my mind, I feel like the thing that I am most concerned about is cutting down trees. I'm not that experienced at it. Growing up, my father, my grandfather would go out and they would cut the trees down. And I would come around and I would take the chainsaw and just cut the limbs off. Sometimes I would even cut the trees into logs, you know, so we could get them split. That was my job. So I never had the experience of having to figure out how to angle it and cut it and all that. So that's all new to me. So as far as learning how to do that, I need to take my time and be safe about doing it. I don't want to jump into something thinking, okay, I know how to cut it. I watched a YouTube video. I'm an expert. You fall into this Dunning-Kruger effect. I've talked about it a lot, where you think you're a master of something and actually you don't know anything. So I'm trying to be aware that I don't know much about cutting trees down or safety equipment, about chainsaws. That's why I bought a 14-inch. I'm not trying to be a big macho man. I'm just trying to be safe as I possibly can and recognizing that there's some risk and some reward. Do I want to spend hundreds of dollars in safety equipment? So on the off chance I might cut my leg off, you know, there's not a lot of risk and the reward is not that high. On the other hand, if I just use the 14-inch chainsaw, cut deadfall into logs, cut limbs, cut small trees, cut saplings, there's a lot of reward, very little risk. So that's how I measure things in life. Then I got a comment, and I thought this was a strange comment. I've never considered this, I guess. Well, I have, but I was told, you cannot use a chainsaw. It's unsafe to use a chainsaw until you learn how to use a chainsaw. Well, how do you learn how to use a chainsaw? It's like saying, you can't ride a bicycle, kid, until you learn how to ride a bicycle. Exactly, how do you do that? You can't drive a car until you learn how to drive a car. Well, that's why they give you a learner's permit. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it that I'm outside on a bicycle, and I recognize that I'm not that good on a bicycle. So in my case, my mom ran behind me when I was learning how to ride a bicycle, and I said, okay, Mom, don't let go. And she'd already let go, you know, a mile ago. So that's how you learn, taking it step at a time. You get your learner's permit. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting my learner's permit. I go and I buy a small chainsaw, so there's not a lot of risk of kickback and different things because I don't want to hurt myself. And I feel like that this is the reason why a lot of people never accomplish their dreams. They analyze everything to death. Analysis paralysis. I heard that on a YouTube video a while back about another off-grider. You're paralyzed to do anything because you see all the things that you think you're supposed to have. Okay, I watched a YouTube video on how to cut a log down, and I got to have this face mask and a hard helmet, and I got to have an orange vest. I was told I need an orange vest. I don't know why I need an orange vest. You got to have an orange vest to go down in the woods. It's not even deer season, so I don't know why I need an orange vest. And you got to have these legs covering so you don't cut your leg off, and gloves. You know, you got to have $1,000 pair of gloves. You could just spend yourself to death, and you will never accomplish your dreams. I mean, I got the same thing when I was talking about when we were cleaning up this trailer. I took 2 pieces of little rope and I pulled the trailer over and knocked it, just 2 little thin pieces of rope. Oh man, you know you could have killed Carolyn with that rope if it had broke. I had Carolyn in the back of the truck. She was tucked down behind the tailgate. There was no way she was going to get hit by any rope. No way. It would have hit the tailgate. Might have busted out the back window if it was that strong, but I would have never hurt Carolyn the way we were doing it. Yet you got to have a $1,000 chain to pull down this little structure that 2 little pieces of rope pulled down. Overanalyzing everything really freezes you from being able to accomplish your dreams. Building this little tiny house, I can't stress this enough. It's a tiny house. It's not worth anything. We're going to spend $5,000 on it. We're never going to get any resale value out of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it falls apart in a week. It really doesn't. It's just not that expensive. Same thing with the camper. When I built the camper, it cost like $800 to build. And people kept saying, oh, it's going to fall apart, it's going to fall apart, you're never going to do this, you got to have a professional come in and build it. You're going to have a professional come in and build your tiny house. Well, if I have a professional come in and build my tiny house, now this $5,000 tiny house is going to be $50,000, and it's still not going to be worth anything. Nobody's going to buy a 200 square foot pad that's on an old trailer frame that's 40 years old. No one's going to buy it. So why worry about it? If it falls down in a year, well, you know what I'll do? I guess I'll just spend some more money and try again. So the next time you want to accomplish something, don't get frozen with analysis paralysis. Just weigh out the risk versus reward and go forward. Thanks for watching.